Hello, welcome, guys. So it is a day where we have to make our decision on who is in and who is out of the Europa League squad. According to the rules of UEFA, the decision has to be made by midnight tonight on the 2nd of February. This is taken from the UEFA website. It says, as of the knockout round playoffs, a club may register a maximum of 3 new eligible players for the remaining matches in the current competition. Such registration must be completed by the 2nd of February 2024 at midnight at the latest. This deadline cannot be extended. Any or all of the players from the above quota of 3 may have been fielded in another club or qualifying phase playoffs or group stage of the UEFA Champions League, UEFA Europa League, or UEFA Conference League. So there is no such thing as cup tied in the European competitions. You can put in those players. So some of those players, obviously like Diamonde, who has played in European competition for his club Norgesland, can still be put into the squad. Now, Rangers obviously have a decision to make. Who is it that they need to add into this Europa squad? And even more, perhaps importantly, who comes out of that Europa squad? That has to be a decision that is also made today as well. Now, when you take out 3, you put in 3 new players. Now, I get immediately there is a complication with this. We have made 3 signings, but there is also players who, thanks to the previous management, are missing from the squad. So let's have a look at the candidates, first of all, as to who you may want to put into the squad. So the candidates, I think, there are 5 candidates, I think, to be put into this squad. Those 5 are Ridvan Yilmaz, Leon Balogun, obviously Mohamed Diamande, Oscar Cortez, and Fabio Silva. So there are 3 players who are currently eligible to be added, and there are 5 possible names to be added into that squad. So it's any 3 from those 5. You've obviously got to look at the present squad, look at who is injured, look at who is left, and look at how obviously that is changed. Now, this is the current UEFA squad. This is the List A squad. Obviously, the likes of Divine leaving doesn't affect it because he's a List B player. Players like obviously Yefeko, Rice, etc., they can come in under List B. McCausland is also under List B as well. So because of the fact that he is an under 21 player who's coming through our system, so therefore he does not count towards that quota. So the current squad is Jack Butland, Robbie McCrory, and Kieran Wright. I think all those 3 players stay in place. John McLaughlin obviously is surplus to requirements, and I don't think you would reduce down to 2 goalkeepers just in case one of them was to be injured. Defenders is an area that we are lighting, as of midfielders as well. So James Tavernier, Connor Goldson, John Suter, Borna Barisic, Dujon Sterling, and Ben Davis. Obviously, Davis is currently injured. How long he's out for? Well, Philippe Clement told us it was short term, so he would probably stay put. Sterling obviously can cover the midfield as well now, so you can put him into the midfield category. Midfielders, Cifuentes, who is still a Rangers player, did not leave last night. Ryan Jack, who is fit again. John Lundstrom, who is fit. And Nico Raskin, who is fit again. Forwards, Cyril Dessers, Todd Cantwell, Sam Lammers, Rabbi Matondo, Tom Lawrence, Danilo, Kemar Roof, Abdallah Seema, Scott Wright. Now, if you look at those forwards, there is a number of players you could take out of that group. Sam Lammers obviously has to come out because he's no longer at the club. So there's your first one. You could also, Danilo, I think, is the second one that has to come out because Danilo is probably realistically 99% certain to miss the rest of the season. You're then left with a decision between Kemar Roof, Abdallah Seema. Seema could come back at the end of the season. So if we're still in the Europa League, that could be a useful re-addition. Kemar Roof, who knows with Kemar Roof? Does he come back? Is he not coming back? Is he back in March? Is he back earlier? Is he sitting in a cryo chamber? Who knows what is happening with Kemar Roof? So it's any 3 from 5, and then any of those 3 of those names I've mentioned to come out. So what I'd like you to do, guys, is in the comments, drop me your name, 3 out, 3 in. Let me know who you are taking out and who you are putting in. Now, by the time you watch this video, it may have already been decided. Philippe Clement may have announced it at his presser today. We don't know, guys, when that announcement will come. But you know what? It's nice to get fans' opinions. I know what Rangers may decide. It's these 3 and these 3 out, and that's great. But I want your opinions as well. You know, this is all about what our channel is about, Lorah, and I want your opinions. So, guys, what I did was I asked Lorah for her opinion. Asked Lorah to give me her opinion. I'll give you mine in a minute. But this is what Lorah had to say when I asked her. So
Hi. So for me, if there was three players that I could change in our Europa squad, first and foremost, it's going to have to be Ridvan for Barisic, and I don't think I'm going to be alone in saying that. I think a lot of people feel the same. I know I've said before, I'm a big Borna fan, but let's be honest, Ridvan is the much better player. So that for me is my first choice. Second, Diamonde. Correct me if I'm saying that wrong. I think it's some people are saying Diamande and some are saying Diamonde, but I'm going to go with Diamonde. He seems like such a promising player. Obviously, I've not seen too much of him, but for what I have seen of him and his stats and things, I've got quite high hopes for this guy. So I would like to see him play in Europe, definitely. And then third, it was a wee bit of a toss-up. I'm a fan of Balogun, but I think to add a bit of strength into the team, for me, I think my third player would be Silva.
There you go, guys. That is Laura's opinion on who should be into the squad. Thank you, Laura, for that. Obviously, you'll be seeing an awful lot more of Laura on Glasgow Rangers Nation. She'll be with me on Sunday for the podcast. Great top, Laura, as well. Anyway, so let's go back to that list of five. Now, like I said, who are your five? Let me know in the comments. We've got Laura's. So who are your three? Sorry, Laura's given her three: Ridvan, Diamande, and Silva. Now, my three, I slightly differ from Laura. I'm going to go for Ridvan in. I think he has to start. I don't trust Borna Barisic. I think you've got to put Ridvan in. He is the best left back at the club. He has been phenomenal. With Abdallah Sima out as well, you need a bit of push down that left. So I'm going for Ridvan. I'm also putting Diamande into the squad as well. He has to play for me. Diamande is the guy that is very highly rated, who is going to be the main man, I think. And well, that's what we've been told. So let's put him in there. And my third player, a bit of a shock now. I'm going to go for Oscar Cortez. Now, the reason I'm not putting Fabio Silva in it is because he's not our player. And I think it's important that we develop our players and we get our players up to speed for Europe, because that is what we need. At the end of the day, we need our players ready to go and ready to play in Europe. So my third player is Oscar Cortez. I think he can play in that 10 role. I can think he can play out wide. Now, that does mean, of course, that we have just got Cyril Dessers to play up front. I think that will be the case. But by the same token, Matondo can play up front as well. That is a real possibility there. So look, at the end of the day, also you've got when Abdallah Sima comes back, hopefully as well, he can also go up front if we're still in the competition. So I do think that is probably the way forward with this squad. So for me, Ridvan, Diamande, and Cortez are my three additions. My three players to come out of the squad, I am taking out Lammers, I am taking out Danilo, and I am taking out Roof. Now, I would love to take Borna Barisic out of the team like Laura. I would absolutely love to take Borna Barisic out of the team. Don't rate the guy at all. I think he's the one player that has not progressed in the slightest under this manager. So my three, though, are Lammers and Danilo and Roof to come out of the team. Well, guys, I'd love to know what your thoughts are. Drop them in the comments down below. That is the situation. So by midnight tonight, we need to have named our three players in and our three players out for the Europa League. The next round will be drawn in February, on the 23rd of February. Friday the 23rd is the draw date when we'll find out who our next opponents are in the Europa League. Thank you for watching Glasgow Rangers Nation, guys. Please smash that sub, help the channel to keep on growing. And obviously keep checking out the channel by pressing the notification bell so you don't miss out. And on the way out, two things I always ask of you. Number one is, please obviously smash the like. It helps the video to grow. And number two, always remember, never forget, we are the people.